So you're curious to know what fall is like in Boise, Idaho, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. It is probably one of my favorite seasons here in Idaho. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. My name's Craig and I'm a local real estate agent here in Idaho. And if you're curious to know what it's like to live here, work here, eat here, sleep here, play here, and buy real estate here, then be sure to subscribe to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about what fall is like. I've made videos about winter, I've made videos about summer, but now I want to share a bit about fall specifically. We'll talk about what the weather is like here in the fall. We'll talk about what things you can do here in the fall. And we'll talk about what you can expect if you guys decide to move here and call Idaho home. And I'll just say right now, as you guys can see, I'm literally just on the edge of town. Downtown's just right over that tree line right there. I just picked my kids up for school. I always keep my fly rod on me in my car. And I thought, hey, let's stop, pull over, do some fishing real quick, see if we can catch anything. And so now I'm gonna go throw some sticks into a dam. But I just wanted to say to everybody, thanks so much for being a part of this channel and growing it. And I've really enjoyed helping a ton of you relocate to Idaho. And I'm hopeful for everybody else who's thinking about coming to Idaho. If you're at all interested in this state, it is a lovely state and you could really love living here if you decide it's right for you.
Chuck it. Alright, what are you gonna throw? Chuck it.
Now, press the pause button, close your eyes, and imagine the crisp air and fresh apples and leaves crunching under your feet. Got it? Now that will be your reality if you move here to Boise, Idaho. And I'm excited to tell you guys all about fall, but before we jump into it, here's one thing to note. While I'm telling you guys about what fall's like, I wanted to walk you around the Hyde Park area, which is in North Boise. A beautiful area, so you kind of get to see something pretty as I'm talking to you about fall. All right, let's talk about average temperatures. So Boise's average fall temperature ranges from the highs of 60 to 70s, like midday to the afternoon, and lows of 35s to 45s. So what this means, for example, when me and my wife woke up this morning and we went onto the patio for our morning cup of coffee where we tell the kids to stay inside and leave us alone, it was cold. And in fact, I installed a heater above our patio area, and then we kind of have a propane fireplace. But we like to go out there in the morning, and the fall mornings are great. And definitely when fall hits, we like to bring a blanket with us, kind of lay over our lap like two old couples. Well, not old couples, but like an old couple. And from there, we turn on the heater and we kind of have a sit down meeting for the week. And the crisp air is really refreshing. But in addition to that, it really warms up in the day. So for example, I was wearing a long sleeve shirt today and I got some jeans on. And that feels like a great decision in the morning and the evening, but midday you're like, did I have those pants that like unzip? Because you're kind of wishing you were in shorts and a t-shirt midday. And so that's kind of fall weather for you in terms of clothing and temperature. Next, let's talk about foliage. So the trees and the leaves. Boise is known as the city of trees. There are all sorts of trees all over the Treasure Valley here, and they all kind of change at different times. In fact, I think my oak tree last year lost its leaves in January, though there are other trees in our neighborhood as I go for walks in the evenings that have already lost their leaves. But it's really beautiful. It's that classic walking around. There's leaves blowing around. It's mid-October right now. Halloween is almost here. But the city just gets beautiful in the fall. So many trees are changing. There's so many colors popping. So in addition to the weather and all that stuff, visually, everything's just changing. And sadly, everything is falling off the trees and you know you're kind of running into winter. But that time as it's beginning to change is just really lovely. And if you've been away from fall for a long time or never lived in it, this could be one of your favorite seasons. Now let's talk about sunshine. What does sunshine look like in the fall? So even in the fall, Boise boasts a considerable amount of sunshine. In fact, this was one of the reasons that my family and I relocated to Idaho and specifically Boise. On average, Boise has 210 days of sunny year, many of which occur in the fall. So again, it's really lovely in the fall. The weather's just great. I went camping last weekend with my kids. It's great for evening walks. It's really great to get out and go mountain bike in the foothills or go for hikes. Just as a side note, if you have a family or young kids, a really fun place is to bring them down here to Goodies. You can get ice cream, candy. In fact, let's just sneak inside real quick. by no means is the fall a time to stay inside. It just kind of draws you out. You're kind of changing your wardrobe, but you're really enjoying a lot of sunshine during this time too. Like today I was walking around with sunglasses on my head all day, and I had them on and off as I was fishing in the river like you guys saw earlier. But again, there is tons of sunshine here in the fall. Local events in the fall time. There are tons of things going on in the fall time all over the city, Boise, all the surrounding cities. I would encourage you, if you do end up moving to Boise and calling Idaho home, I'd encourage you to check out some of the local newsletters. One in particular that I'm going to highlight for today is going to be from Boise. That newsletter is jam-packed with events. So on Tuesday, they come out with stories, and on Thursday, they come out with events that are happening so that you know what's happening that weekend. So if you got a family and you want to get out of the house, or you want to go maybe to another local city close by and do something that they're offering, there are tons of things going on in the fall. So again, it's such a great time to get out. You're just coming out of a really hot summer, or maybe you stayed inside a little bit because of the heat. But again, fall, you're like, man, you're ready to get out. If it gets cold, you can kind of control your heat. If it gets hot, it's not that bad and you're still okay. And so again, it's such a great time to get out for events, get out with the family, go to the park, go to the zoo, and things like that. Let's talk about outdoor activities. So Ridge to Rivers is a trail system, and it offers 190 miles of trails around Boise, which is perfect for the fall season. And I'll show a drone shot of that right here. So this is kind of Camels Back Park that you guys are seeing, but behind it is all these trails. Yes, there's some beautiful houses sprinkled up on that hillside. Let me know if you want to buy a house on that hillside and get a beautiful view and get sunsets. But all of that back there is Ridge to Rivers, is trail system. So if you want to go hiking or biking or go out for a walk or anything like that, it's so nice to go out there. And again, what's so great about the fall is it's not so hot. So say if you're out biking, it's kind of nice to break a sweat because you're already not super hot because of the summer, but you're a little bit chilly in the evening, but then the sweat kind of evens you out, and it's kind of like perfect weather for getting out and exercise, whether you're into running or hiking or biking. And then in addition to that, Boise's Greenbelt offers scenic views of the changing leaves along the Boise River. So I was just talking with a couple who's moving up from California. We were on a call today, and I was just explaining what the Boise Greenbelt is like. It's essentially a huge trail that stretches all the way out from Eagle to Lucky Peak, all along the river. And again, it's a great way to get out and utilize the city. So Boise is such a good town if you're somebody who wants to be out of the house, doing things, active things, and seeing beautiful things like a river and leaves changing. I have kids, so I just think of kids like letting them explore and count the squirrels or the ducks, or go climb a tree or play in a nice park. All that can be done here in Boise. They've done a really good job of taking a lot of the beauty of Boise and making it accessible to everyone. Now, another thing to note, if you do move here, or if you're a local here, you get this, but maybe you're somebody moving from California and you've never had a yard and you've never had the seasons. There are going to be some things that are going to be different from you, and you're going to want to be prepared for. One of them is going to be buying different outfits that you're used to, especially if you're coming from like San Diego. Maybe you don't have the proper clothing anymore, or maybe you've never had it. And so I was actually joking with a couple today. It's like, man, I feel like I should offer a living in Idaho starter pack of like, hey, if you came from just San Diego weather, here's like a kit of what you need to get going so that when you make that transition, you're ready to go. But in addition to that, with fall comes a lot of things you're going to have to deal with in terms of like home care. You're going to have to winterize your home, kind of get ready for that cold weather to come in. If you got a chimney, you're going to want to check your chimney. Make sure it's good to have fires in. If you got a yard, you're going to want to blow out your sprinklers. You're going to want to do fall yard prep, which is a really big deal. You'll have a great yard in the summer if you prep properly in the fall and the spring leading up to that summer. Actually, here's some clips that I took today just kind of highlighting yard prep. And the gentleman I'm highlighting here is Michael with Mustard Seed Lawn Care. If you end up moving out here and living in Eagle, he is a phenomenal guy to know. And if you want the best yard in the neighborhood, I would encourage you to reach out to him. I'll include his information in the description down below. But if you move here, just know that you might end up having a yard. And if you have a yard and you're not used to that, you're going to want to get an expert in your corner so that it's beautiful and green and ready for you to enjoy come summer. And let's talk about clothing. I kind of briefly mentioned it. But if you come here, it's going to be a really good idea to get some good layers. Maybe a light down jacket, a long sleeve shirt, maybe a vest, maybe a scarf, and maybe like a nice wool, possibly full brim hat, or whatever you prefer. but just know your outfits are gonna have to change a little bit. And we have a Costco here. The older I get, the more and more I'm seeing that a lot of my outfit is bought at Costco. But you can get down jackets at Costco, hat, socks, scarf, all sorts of things. Costco's really good about bringing in kind of seasonal clothing for you. And so that's an option. We also have some great stores downtown if you want to get some more designer things as well. So here I am, Camels Back Park. It's mid-October. It's about 7 o'clock at night, and it is about 70 degrees outside. And it's lovely. Like a nice long sleeve shirt is great, maybe a vest. I know a lot of you who maybe have never lived in the Four Seasons or maybe did as a kid and then left it. It'll be really nice to come back to Four Seasons and to experience fall and to put away the summer clothes and watch the leaves change color and go out for really nice, lovely evenings like this. The weather just really cools down around this time. So like going out to your kid's soccer game or enjoying a brisk morning with a cup of tea and coffee. It's just really, really enjoyable. It's different. It's a season. It's a beautiful transition into wintertime. So let me know what you guys think. Could you live in a place like this? Do you look forward to a season like fall? Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you're curious to watch another video, then you should check out this other video I did on winter, because I know it's another thing that y'all are really curious about as you're considering a move here to Idaho. I'll see you guys in the next video.